such a useful vehicle, it didn't exit service until 1981 with the British forces, believe it or not. We're going to have our first tank of the show. What we have here is an M3A1 Stuart light tank, 1941. Not built in Canada. This was built in the United States. Of course, our American allies were producing a massive amount of weapons by the time they entered the war, even before the attack on Pearl Harbor on the 7th of December, 1941. Gunner, prepare to fire. Fire, fire, fire. So you like that? Now it's an American-built tank, but they were provided all Allied supporting role. Now let's look at a tank that really made a difference in 1945 at the end of the war. We're all familiar probably with the Sherman tank, or the M4 Sherman. Here comes Bart, one of our two operational Shermans. Now, this is an M4A3E8. What all that means? Well, you can ask the crew when you see them after the show. Feels like. Fire, fire, fire. Prepare to fire. Fire, fire, fire. Okay, so we're going to have one more look at these tracked vehicles before we get to offshore. Here we go, coming out of the parsing area. Again, we have 1942, built here in Canada, in Windsor, Ontario, by Ford Motor Company, Ford Canada. We have the Universal Carrier, or more commonly known as the Bren gun carrier. In service well before the Second World War and well after the Second World War. So it's a vehicle that saw service right through from 1939 to 1945 with Allied forces. So these are the types of vehicles that our guys were fighting against. Now the next one is a tank. It is a Panzer. This is a Panzer Mark III. And it is a medium tank. Everybody said that the Germans were actually way ahead in design, but that was in the early part of the war. That's why they had that great success in 1939, 1940, and 41. And their two main tanks were the Panzer III and the Panzer IV. The Panzer III was initially designed as a gun tank, a tank that would face off against enemy armor. They had figured out the 5-man crew. They had learned a lot of lessons. Initial design and these tanks, within a year, were already outclassed. So just like the Sherman, the Germans continued to upgrade the vehicles over and over. Larger guns, larger ammo. Fire, fire, fire. Or maybe not. I know. Okay, well, they're going to go to the rear area for and figure out what's going on with the gun there before our finale. Good? Okay, so let's hear it for the Panzer III and the crew of the Panzer III. Now the final That's a scary looking Go. So now that you know what these vehicles are, before we get to the finale, I'm going to do one more parade lap of all of them so you can get a really close look. Canadian-made General Motors Fox armored car Mark 1 with a Mickey Mouse camo. Universal Carrier made by Ford Canada, 1941. American-made M3A1 Stewart light tank. The M4 A3E8 Sherman tank. And the Germans, well, you bored about that. Tankers, take your firing positions. Panzer Stewart M3 is actually a much faster tank than the Panzer III. You see the user, their gun is already facing the enemy while the Panzer's trying to get into position. But oh, I see the turret of the Panzer now moving, trying to get on target. Commander asked him to move up a bit. The Panzer actually has his lower hull. Oh, first shot off by the Panzer III. Tank, fellas, that's 1941 and still running. So we'll give them a pass on that one. See, they're having a fuel issue. Panzer, though, once again, the crew's got it into a decent position. Part of its track and side armor, its lower side armor, kind of protected by that low hill. There, now the Stewart, who's going to get a shot off? Oh, Panzer had some time there. Oh, shot by the Stewart, and a return shot by the Panzer. Stewart, do you have one more round? Finish off that Panzer. All right, tankers, let's bring it up front. They got lucky. Okay, well, they got a few rounds off. Sandcat, when it's safe to do so.